Finding the right crypto exchange for you can be a daunting task. However, there is one which has a pretty stellar record, and that exchange would be Gemini. Now, this is one that I've used to snaffle a few altcoins myself, but is it really all it's chalked up to be? Well, that's exactly what I'll be going over today with my ultimate guide to Gemini. In it, I'll tell you everything you need to know and weigh up the pros and cons of this exchange. I'll also have a few hot tips on how to use Gemini in the most efficient way possible, and that is something you certainly don't want to miss. Before I motor on, there is something I need to tell you. Some view me as a crypto preacher or teacher. Personally, I'm flattered by all of that. However, here are the facts. I am no financial advisor. So that means nothing in this video is financial advice, and I won't say it twice. With that out of the way, I'd like to say hey to all the new viewers today. My name is Guy, and I am the guy over here at the Coin Bureau. We cover everything to take you from a crypto beginner to a crypto pro. That includes news, reviews, overviews, and market moves. So if you want to take crypto seriously and level up that crypto knowledge for free, then you'll want to bosh that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. That way, YouTube will keep you in the know when this crypto bro has a new video to show. Finally, check out that timeline below. I've split up this video into different sections to make it easy for you to jump ahead to the bits that are most interesting to you. However, be warned, doing so will mean you might miss out on some vital info. Okay, ready to reach for those crypto stars? Let's take a look at Gemini. To get things started, I need to give you a bit of an overview of Gemini. So, Gemini went live back in 2015. To put that into context, this exchange has been around for a couple of years longer than Binance. So yeah, Gemini isn't exactly the new kid on the crypto block. But what is Gemini best known for? Well, that would be regulatory compliance. Now, I know that sounds bloody boring. However, it is something super important, especially for my friends in the good old US of A. Firstly, it means that you can be certain that your funds are safe. Secondly, if the exchange you're using is in the SEC's regulatory crosshairs, it could add undue stress and uncertainty to your trading experience. Even Coinbase has been having issues with the SEC recently over its proposed lending product, with the Securities and Exchange Commission threatening to sue Coinbase for $64 billion if they go ahead. Yes, that is pretty sketchy to say the least. However, the lesson here is that the days of crypto being a Wild West industry are probably numbered, and that regulatory compliance from exchanges is likely to become ever more important moving forward. However, this should not be an issue for Gemini. That's because they actually made regulatory compliance one of their major selling points many years ago. They even took out New York subway ads with the tagline, quote, "Finally, a regulated place to buy, sell, and store crypto." There were a number of other ads they ran as well that trumpeted similar benefits. But are those claims just a game of smoke and mirrors? Well, Gemini is actually owned and operated by the Gemini Trust Company, LLC. This is a trust that's regulated by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Having that regulation means that Gemini is able to service residents of New York State, something that many other cryptocurrency exchanges have not been able to do. The reason why is that most exchanges find it just too much of a hassle to comply with the New York regulators' capitalization, compliance, anti-money laundering, consumer protection, and cybersecurity requirements. But all that didn't seem to bother Gemini. So, if you want an exchange that complies with the rules set by one of the strictest regulators in the world, then Gemini should certainly make your shortlist. However, when I look at Gemini and its approach to regulatory compliance, it reminds me of that kid at school who kept asking for extra homework. For example, seeing that Gemini is run as a trust company, it's actually statutorily exempt from having to register with FinCEN, the Financial Crimes and Enforcement Network of the US. However, Gemini still has an account with FinCEN, so they can file compliance reports even though they don't have to. Eager beavers for regulation, right? Oh yes, with all that regulatory compliance, you probably won't be surprised to hear that Gemini is tremendously popular with corporations, asset managers, and wealth managers. Those guys tend to prefer using platforms with the highest levels of assurance that their clients' funds are safe. But who the heck heads up a crypto exchange like this? Well, that would be the Winklevoss twins. Yep, the same chaps that founded ConnectU back in 2002 and ended up having some serious beef with one M. Zuckerberg about who came up with the idea of Facebook. Now, Gemini probably sounds great to most of you out there. However, the truth is that you shouldn't just take a regulator's word that an exchange is safe. After all, it's your crypto at risk here and not the regulators. So, what security precautions are in place over there at Gemini? Well, the majority of client funds are stored in offline, air-gapped cold storage. Yes, some funds need to be held in a hot wallet in order to facilitate withdrawals, but even then, these funds are insured. However, I should note that the exact percentage of user funds held in cold storage is unknown. Gemini doesn't publish hard numbers like other exchanges, so that is something for you to think about. In terms of cold storage management, Gemini uses multi-signature wallets. That's a pretty good move as it helps eliminate single points of failure and improves the exchange's resilience against the loss or compromise of any individual private key. Those private keys are also stored in different locations around the world and monitored in access-controlled facilities. Oh yes, authentication by multiple employees is also required to gain access to that crypto, and that helps protect against the odd rotten apple that could be lurking on the Gemini payroll. However, that itself is unlikely, and that's because Gemini actually makes all employees undergo criminal and credit background checks and are subject to background checks throughout their employment. Now, even though the security at Gemini appears to be solid, this means nothing if your own Gemini account is insecure. Thankfully, Gemini has a host of features that give users the ability to better secure their own individual accounts. For example, they're protected by two-factor authentication, and that's required to log into your account and to make crypto withdrawals. That's when you download an authentication app like Google Authenticator, scan the QR code displayed on your Gemini account, and the app generates a 6-digit code to authorize Gemini account logins and crypto withdrawals. You'll definitely want to use this two-factor authentication method, as using an SMS-based one leaves you vulnerable to SIM swap attacks. Now, another neat feature is that you can actually upgrade that account security by using hardware security keys like YubiKeys or even a Trezor. All that is done via web authentication. But why might you want that added layer of security? Well, this method provides hardware-backed cryptographic proof that it's you and not someone else signing into your Gemini account. This type of security also protects you against cloned Gemini websites that are set up to capture your login details, something that sadly stings way too many people these days. Gemini users can also create wallet address whitelists, which restrict withdrawals to approved addresses only. Or you could completely disable crypto withdrawals from your account too. That way, if a nefarious actor gains access to your Gemini account, they wouldn't actually be able to take your crypto off the exchange. Essentially, that bad guy would have completely wasted their time. Now, another key threat to any type of account would be brute force attacks, which try to crack your password. Well, those sneaky Winklevi have thought of that too, by restricting the number of login attempts you can make. Naturally, passwords and personal data at Gemini are encrypted. We wouldn't want that sort of data being released into the wilds, would we? Ledger, I'm looking at you. Now, when it comes to compliance certifications for crypto exchanges, Gemini was something of a pioneer here by being the first exchange to pass an SOC 1 Type 2 and an SOC 2 Type 2 exam. So, what the hell are those? Well, SOC 1 basically evaluates the design and implementation of Gemini's financial operations and reporting controls, whereas SOC 2 evaluates the design and implementation of Gemini's security and confidentiality controls. Now, if that wasn't enough certification mumbo-jumbo, Gemini also earned an ISO 27001 certification, and that's essentially an international standard on how to manage information security. So, that all means that Gemini is run very well and up to the standards expected by serious financial firms. Even so, I would always recommend that you keep large holdings of cryptocurrency off an exchange and self-custody them in your own wallet. I prefer a hardware wallet, and you can see my most recent video on the best hardware wallets if you've not found one yet. Okay, so that's exchange security. However, all of this is a non-starter if the cryptocurrency you want to buy is not supported here. So let's take a look into that, shall we? So when it comes to supported cryptocurrencies, I'm just going to level with you and say straight up that Gemini doesn't have the widest selection out there. Around 50 different crypto assets are on the shelves here, and there are some very notable cryptos like Cardano which are simply not available on this exchange. So yeah, that might be a deal breaker for some people. However, I'd wager that Gemini's range of supported cryptos will have most people covered. I've linked to a full list of all the assets available over at Gemini in the description below, so be sure to take a look at that when you have a moment. So, assuming you're happy with that selection of cryptocurrencies, here's the big question. Can you actually create an account at Gemini? Unlike pretty much every other exchange I've seen, Gemini accepts users from every single US state, so a big win for my friends across the pond. However, Gemini is far from being just a US-facing exchange. They actually accept users from key countries in South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and Oceania too. I've placed a link to all 60 countries accepted by Gemini below. Now, that's asset support and country support covered, but what personal verification requirements are there at this exchange? All right, guys, right off the bat, you need to know that Gemini is a full KYC exchange. So if you're not comfortable with handing over your papers, then this exchange is not for you. That KYC is, after all, required for an exchange to be fully regulated. Anyways, to create an account at Gemini, you'll need to provide your full name, date of birth, address, phone number, social security number, and email address. In addition to that, you'll need to supply more documentation if you want to withdraw from the exchange. This includes documents such as a proof of address, like a utility bill, and a government-issued ID document like a passport or driver's license. To submit those documents, all you need to do is to upload them to your Gemini account. Then you'll be good to rock and roll. Now, I think all of you know how to fill in a sign-up form, so I'm not going to insult your intelligence by doing a walkthrough on that. Just make sure that you have an authenticator app like Google Authenticator downloaded on your phone. You will be needing it. Also, don't forget to put your thinking cap on when it comes to creating a super strong password too. I'd actually recommend that you use a password generator to help with a much stronger password. Now it's time to move on and show you how to deposit fiat currency like US dollars. So let's have a look. Alrighty, so Gemini offers several deposit methods to deposit fiat currency on the exchange. These include wire and bank transfers, ACH transfer, Apple Pay and Google Pay, and debit cards. Now, I want to be straight up. I'd recommend avoiding debit card deposits like the plague. The reason why is that you'll pay a 3.49% in deposit fees if you choose to use this method. That's right. If you're a baller wanting to deposit $100,000, then you'll pay $3,500 in fees just to do so. So, I imagine most of you will want to deposit via bank transfer. So, let's focus on that. The first step is for US users only. Once you've logged into your Gemini account, you'll want to hit that big Account button in the top right corner and select Settings from the drop-down. You'll then be taken to your account area, and on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see something called Funding Sources. Here, you'll see a selection of funding sources and the ability to link a bank account. The easiest option is going to be to automatically link that account to Gemini. So, bash that Get Started button over there. Gemini will then redirect you to a service called Plaid. At least that's how I pronounce it. My American friends might say Plaid. This connects your Gemini account to your bank account. Hit that Continue button and you'll be asked to select your bank from a list. Next, you'll want to enter your banking username and password. Once done, your bank account will be linked. So next, you'll want to hit that Transfer button in the top right corner of your Gemini account. Select the currency you want to deposit and your deposit method. Once you hit Continue, you'll see payment instructions to complete the bank transfer. Now, the important thing to note here is that you'll see a reference code. Be sure to add that as your transaction reference when making your transfer. That's how Gemini assigns the deposit to your account. And honestly, guys, that's all there is to it. A few other points of information, though. Wire transfers will usually arrive in your account on the same day or next business day. However, ACH transfers can take up to 5 business days to hit your Gemini account. So do bear that in mind if you're thinking about jumping into those crypto markets quickly. So now you know the basics on how to deposit fiat, I want to quickly show you how to deposit crypto over there. Make sure you're logged into your Gemini account. Hit that transfer button in the top right and select the crypto you want to deposit. Once you've done that, you should see that Transfer From field automatically selects External Address. Then just click Continue. Gemini will then show you a crypto address to use to deposit and a QR code to use if you have that crypto on a mobile app. Simply use that wallet address to make your deposit. And that's honestly all there is to depositing crypto on Gemini. So now that you know how to deposit funds on the exchange, I need to move on and tell you about those all-important trading fees. That way, you'll know exactly what you're signing up for here. Alrighty, so you guys should know that trading crypto through Gemini's mobile app and using their default trading method is going to be expensive. There are 2 types of fees here. The first is a transaction fee. This is a flat fee for trades up to $200, and you can see these over here. Now, I don't think I need to tell you that if you trade $9.99, paying a 10% transaction fee is insane. Yes, things seemingly get a bit better when you're trading more than $200. However, a 1.49% fee is still a super high price to pay. On top of that, you'll pay a convenience fee, which is a 0.5% spread in the price of the crypto asset you're trading. So in total, you'll be paying 2% in trading fees for trading on Gemini using these methods. However, there is another cheaper way to trade on Gemini, and that would be by using their Active Trader platform. That's Gemini's Pro trading interface, a bit like Coinbase Pro or Kraken Pro. Here, fees are a lot cheaper, with taker fees sitting at 0.35% and 0.25% for maker fees. Yes, there are additional trading discounts available if you trade more than $500,000 in a 30-day period, but how many of us are going to do that, right? Now, I could leave those fees like that, and you'd probably go away thinking that active trader fees on Gemini are great. However, I need to be transparent with you and let you know that this is still amazingly expensive compared to other crypto exchanges. I mean, FTX has taker fees of just 0.07% and 0.02% for maker fees. That means that FTX charges 5 times less for taker fees and 12.5 times less for maker fees. On top of that, you can get additional fee discounts at FTX, and I detail all of those in my dedicated walkthrough of the exchange right here. Anyways, if you are going to be using Gemini, make sure you use that active trader for the lower fee tier. Okay, let's move on though to the real meat and potatoes of this video, using the trading platform. Now, I have to hand it to Gemini. Their active trader interface is one of the easiest pro trading platforms I have ever seen. To the right, you'll see the order book. The numbers with the red bars at the top show the sell side of the market, and the left-hand column shows the different price levels for orders to sell the cryptocurrency. The middle column shows the amount of crypto available to be sold at that price level, and the right column shows the cumulative quantity of crypto available in the order book at the current and subsequent price levels. Below that, you'll see the same data for the buy side of the market with green bars next to the figures. In the center of the trading panel, you'll see a price chart. This gives you a basic overview of the market. However, you won't get access to advanced charting tools. So if that's something you value, then you might want to look at other exchange options. To the left, you'll see the all-important order form. First, you'll want to ensure that you've selected the right side of the market. Here, I want to buy Bitcoin with USD, so I've selected Buy. Next, you want to make sure that Continuous is selected and pick your order type. Market orders allow you to buy your crypto at the current market price, so I imagine that most of you will be using this order type. Then it's just a matter of entering how much crypto you want to buy or how many US dollars you want to spend and hit that buy button. Your order will then be executed and you'll get that Bitcoin credited to your Gemini account. I should point out that by placing that market order, you have taken liquidity from the order book. Therefore, you'll be paying the taker fee, which I mentioned earlier. But what are those limit orders I just mentioned? Well, the easiest way of explaining how those work is by using an example. So, let's say I want to get Bitcoin at $35,000 and I'm not willing to pay a cent more. Well, I can place that order in Gemini by using a limit order. I just key in $35,000 as the price and enter the amount of BTC I want to buy. That order will then sit there in the order book. This means that if BTC plunges overnight to, say, 34K, then I'll have that order filled automatically and get that Bitcoin at the lower price point. Pretty cool, right? Also, because I've placed an order in the order book, I would have made liquidity, and that means I'll be paying those lower maker fees if the order is executed. Okay, so that's the trading interface. Simple and effective. Now, I quickly want to move on and talk about some of the other features on offer at the exchange. Unlike other exchanges, Gemini doesn't offer a wide range of other products like crypto cards, NFT marketplaces, staking, or anything like that. Instead, Gemini has focused on being a straight-up exchange to buy and sell crypto and not much more. However, they do have a great mobile wallet app, which means that you can store your crypto there while piggybacking off all the security infrastructure provided by Gemini. That includes things like insurance, their rigorous internal controls, and secure storage environments. So, if you're just dipping your toes into crypto and can't justify the expense of a dedicated hardware wallet, then you might want to entrust your funds with the Gemini wallet and use that for a bit. Now, that about wraps up my beginner's guide to Gemini. Yes, I've only scratched the surface here, and I could have gone into a lot more detail. However, I imagine that sort of diligence would have frankly been annoying to most sane people. If you are interested in giving Gemini a try, then don't forget to create that account using the link in the description below. And now it's time to hear your thoughts, folks. So, what do you think of Gemini? Is it really the best US exchange? Let me know in the comments. And finally, if you think this crypto sensei has done a good job, then you can give me that all-important salute by karate chopping that like button. If you'd like to make me your very own crypto master, then you can do that by roundhouse kicking that subscribe button and punching that little bell. Till next time, folks.